I don't know what to say. Today we're in the big ditch. One time I was walking around in the big ditch and there was this guy that was just like walking around with a gun, like a big rifle, like he was gonna hunt something, and I did not want to be hunted, so I left. Today I wanted to talk about victim mentality and how it's something that is really easy to slip into. First, I want to say that if you are a victim, this is not victim shaming at all. This is reframing. If something terrible has happened to you, you are a victim, okay? But how you deal with it and how you go about it can make a really big difference. So when I was younger, I definitely had a victim mentality. Nothing super terrible ever really happened to me. But I had this like, oh, poor me. Why do I feel like this? I always feel so awful, blah, blah, blah. And my interactions with other people, although I wasn't conscious of it at the time, were always very needy and looking for sympathy. I needed that extra support. I needed somebody to talk to. But I realized after a while that sympathy does not help at all. Sympathy is a powerful emotion, and it has its time and place for sure. If you're constantly looking for sympathy and attention in that way, you might want to look at that. How can I get out of this victimhood role? How can I stop feeling sorry for myself? Because nobody's gonna save you. Nobody is gonna save you. Even if you go to a counselor or go to get help, they're not gonna save you. They're gonna try to help you become a creator and your own advocate for your life. So I had this friend that when we first met, he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you the story of my entire life. I'm like, okay. And the things that he told me were so negative. Basically looking for sympathy and wanting me to feel sorry for him and say, oh, poor baby, I'm so sorry this happened to you. But in reality, I've seen a lot of people that have had it way worse with better mentalities. And this is not to say that you can't feel bad about your life and the things that you've gone through, the bad things. But it's this creating a narrative about your life that is so negative that is really quite detrimental. There was a study with nuns that they had them write on a single piece of paper the story of their life. The nuns that wrote very positive things and looked back at their life very positively lived to be on average 10 years longer. So this really has a big power over us and the narrative that we speak to ourselves. And you know what? I'm guilty. I do the same thing. I've realized that I love to talk about negative things. I love to think about negative things. When I look back on my story, the saddest, most droopiest parts are so juicy, But it's really important to remember that doesn't define your life, and you get to choose what defines your life. I can look back on my experiences, say with a relationship, for instance, and be like, wow, how fortunate that I got to love and be loved and express myself and learn through this mirror of another person. And you know what? It's ended, but I'm moving on. It's because I'm a different person now. That's one way to look at it. The same exact relationship could be looked at, oh, this is freaking horrible. He did this and this and this and this to me, which all can be true. But it really depends on how you look at it. It really does. I'm trying to get you to make the choice. Is this going to be something that beats me? Is this going to be something that defines my life? Or is this going to be something that I learn from and can create something positive out of? Can you become a creator from it? It's kind of funny because I walked into this coffee shop and she had on this talk show that was talking about the same thing. It's funny how the universe lines up like that. But the way that the guy on the radio was describing it was, are you going to be the boss of your own life? Can you boss up? If you're always looking at yourself and your story from this frame of mind where, oh, something awful happened to me, you're going to get stuck there and you're not going to move forward with it. It's taking away a lot of power from yourself. You are incredibly powerful. I thought that I needed somebody else to save me, but I don't. You know, if I want something to happen, if I want to feel a certain way, or if I want to change the stories that I've created in my life, I have total, absolute power to do that. And a lot of times, I think the biggest hurdle is to realize that you do have power, that you are a creator in this reality, and you can do whatever you want. The thing about trying to save somebody is that it's actually keeping them in their victimhood. You're saying, I'm better, I can save you. When in reality, what needs to happen is everybody needs to step outside of that. They know I am the creator, I can save myself, I can have support, I can have co-creators, but I do not need saving. If you think about it, the past doesn't even exist anymore. It only exists in your mind, in your memory. And memory is malleable. So the story that you tell yourself can put either rose-colored glasses or put that story in black and white into this kind of horror film. So the story that we tell ourselves is very, very important because not only does it help us navigate the future and our present, but it becomes us. So what kind of story are you going to tell?